Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ghosts of Miami. So I think I'm going to change the way I've been pronouncing the main character's name. So I was saying Cello. I think I'm going to change it to Cello. Like the instrument, the musical instrument, the cello. But so she will now be Cello. Though I'm probably going to pronounce that differently if I forget, but whatever. You know what? No, let's not restart the case. No. Let's resume the case. Thank you. Okay. Don't put restart at the top. You know what? Let's go to the club first. Maybe the boyfriend will be there even though it's morning time. The Bankside hasn't been renovated in over a decade. It's a little noisy nightclub that hasn't quite made it out of the disco era. My best friend Luciana Escobar, grew up around this place. Luciana? I think it's Luciana. When we were 10 years old, her dad was put in charge of it. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Lucy's dad, Rafael, is one of the Escobars. Well, one of those Escobars. He's more like a distant cousin, but a family link is there. Pablo Escobar, the big drug kingpin from, Colombia, I think? Could be wrong about that. South America somewhere. It's never bothered her, though. Lucy wears the best clothes, gets nice perfume from Florence, and never ever works for money. Jello, my beautiful girl, my loveliest friend, what is this thing with your face? Why am I doing that to her voice? Why? You look sad. Yes, that's how you look right now. It's very depressing. Stop immediately. I'm joking. I think it's very thoughtful of you to come. Oh, Lucy, it's been so long, my love. It's been a few weeks since we talked, I know, and I'm sorry. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm stressed. I feel way better after seeing your face, or seeing your smiling face. Oh, my sweet girl, I love you so much. Come, it's the perfect time for lunch, and you owe me a date from February. I can't, not right now. But Cello, you promised me lunch. Sorry, Lucy, but I'm actually here on a job. Huh. Hate Lucy's stupid pout. She's so spoiled, but it works. It totally works on me anyway. Resisting Lucy's pout is like escaping the planet's gravity. Sigh, 1,000 sighs for the working girl. Well, fine. What do you need in your giant brain to solve this case of yours? I will help. And one day, when you need to work, you will lunch with me instead. Of course, I absolutely promise. Perfect then. I will make reservations. So, tell me about this case you're working on. Is it exciting? I dish about Grace Woon. Lucy leans in towards me, rapt on every word. She's fascinated with real jobs in a way that's both endearing and infuriating. Mrs. Woon gave me her last yearbook photo. Seen her around ever? Oh, yes, I have. Not in the actual club. She meets Trevor out back when he's on smoke breaks. Strung out little schoolgirl. Looks so brittle. Like she would smash into pieces if you hit her. Now that I think about it, I have not seen her in a week. Maybe 2, and Trevor has been here every day. What if they broke up? Oh god, I'm such a bad gossip. I'm sure it's fine, Lucy. Do you mind if I ask him a few questions? The boyfriend? Of course, Trevor's one of the good ones. Nice to the waitresses, takes the drunks' keys away from them. Not one of those shitty beach bartenders who shows up an hour late for shift drunk and coked up. He's on daytime prep right now. The pale one, there. Thanks, Chica. I'll catch up with you later, okay? Don't have too much fun. Poor Lucy, she seems so bored, haunting her father's club like a sad ghost. She used to go out all the time, but now all her friends have real jobs. Rafael Escobar's beautiful daughter, always the party girl, laughing and drinking and warming the VIPs so they spend at her father's bar. I know she manages part of the business, too. Her energy keeps the Bankside afloat. There's a few rich cabronis who come in night after night, getting big tabs at the bar just to impress Luciana Escobar. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. All I have to do is chase a Korean-American teen all over Miami. Hi, you're Trevor. Yeah, who are you? Trevor, my dude, you need to get some sleep. My name's Consuelo. I live in the same building as the Woon family. You know them? You're here? You know I know them. Well, just Grace. I didn't expect to hear from them after Grace broke up with me. I didn't know that. It was so, what's the word? Unceremonious? I don't know what I expected, but not to be kicked to the curb by a kid. Have you ever been in love, Miss Consuelo? Not quite. More to the point. How long has it been since you've seen Grace? Let me think. Almost a month ago, I'd say. But she dropped by 2 days ago during my lunch break to ask for money. I guess I was pretty disappointed. We got clean together. Clean? Wait, Grace was using? What were you on? I mean, you kind of know she was using because you've already had that talk with the guy at the beach, but sure. What do you think? I think uppers, because that's what Jed told me, and I'm gonna say cocaine. Sorry, that's shitty of me. She used to be a good student, straight A's, the perfect little girl for demanding immigrant parents. No offense. None taken. Keep going. Grace was always a good student, but she started to fall behind. At first it was stimulants to help her study for tests. That's what Jed told us, uppers. But I was using, cocaine. Is cocaine a depressant and not an upper? Maybe you define uppers and stimulants differently. Whatever. So she joined in, said it was helping her in class. A few months after that, she wasn't going to class anymore. She started selling her things to get a score. I swear I'm clean now, and for a while, she said she was too. I'm looking at your face, dude. You don't look very clean. You were the one who got her into the harder stuff. Didn't you help her get out? I tried, okay? Maybe when we were both into it, I lost sight of what the coke was doing to her. Once I cleaned up my act, I thought I could help her out of the rut. That's when she dumped me. She doesn't call unless she needs cash. I gave her some a couple times from my pocket, not the till, but last week I had enough. She got pissed and said all she wanted was my money. Glove is lit with pink neon lights, but his eyes look wide and clear. Trevor says he's clean, and I believe him. I mean, I don't know, the bag's under his eyes. He doesn't look like he's been sleeping well, or... Thanks for being honest, Trevor. It's really helpful. Is Grace really gone? You can help to bring her back, Trevor. Tell me about her supplier. We used to buy from my friend, another bartender nearby, but I asked him to cut us off when I decided to go straight. There might be someone else, but... Look, I don't want to get her into any more trouble than she's already in. Look, she's missing, so would you rather her to be in trouble or dead in a gutter? Those are your options. Someone else? Tell me what I need to know or else. I mean, I'm not gonna... that sounds a little harsh. That sounds like I'm personally threatening him. Let's just go with someone else. Look, I want to help you. I really do. Grace was my girlfriend for over a year. We went through a lot of stuff together, and I really thought we had a future. But Jed and I used to be like brothers. If he goes to jail, I've already met Jed. I'd never forgive myself. I get that, okay? You can trust me on this one. I'm just following Grace's footsteps, and I'm pretty sure Jed is one of the people she saw before she disappeared. Grace didn't rat you out, and I won't either. Jed, huh? I guess I know why Trevor's so worried about his friend. Running a drug ring of high school kids would get him in trouble with the cops and the cartels. Fine. If you're just trying to find Grace and you swear you'll be discreet. I never gave her cash, but I did tell her about Jed Powers. He operates on the Broadwalk, waiting for cruises to let off. Tourists don't haggle, see? Grace found him through some shitty friends at her high school, but he didn't know she was my girlfriend. Like I said, she was a real good kid once upon a time. She was naive, and Jed took advantage of that. His prices were way too high. How was she supposed to know? So Grace stole cash. She'd ask her parents for nice stuff and then turn around to sell it. To Jed, she was just an easy mark. That's his favorite kind of mark. If you go down there and act like you're lost, he'll find you. I should have protected her from him, but she wouldn't take my calls, let alone my advice. Alright, so we now know the boyfriend seems to be clean. Where? For a moment, Trevor looks like he might to clam up. There's a word missing here. But then, south side of the Broadwalk, where you can see the cruise liners coming in. He does good business on weekends, but it's busy then. Today or tomorrow, you'll find him. I hope this helps you, Consuelo. Actually, it doesn't help me because I've already met him. She pushed me away, but I want her to be okay. I never meant to ruin her life. Thank you, Trevor. I'll let you know what happens. Alright, so, yeah. So now we know Trevor And we know that Grace is an easy mark. She didn't have the money. That looked like it went well. Are you actually a good detective, Miss Consuelo, my beloved? He treated me like some kind of authority figure. I almost can't believe it. We're getting so old, my friend. My father asked me today, Luciana, when will you be married? Luciana, why do you not have a boyfriend? Can you believe me tying myself down to one man when the world has so many? Could not even get a lunch date with you. Who will take old sad Lucy out to dinner and dancing if her best friend will not? Now, you're only 24, but whatever. Your father has a lot on his plate. Let me think. When will I have the time to make a date with Lucy? Ow! You know my policy on teasing. Ow, you punch like a truck. Lunch plans pronto. See, we'll go out for real as soon as I get some regular work and I can afford to treat a lady like you to an elegant night out, okay? Just you and me. Promise? Someplace nice? Luciana Escobar, I absolutely promise I will sweep you off your feet in a way that makes your father very uncomfortable. Lucy looks so happy. Some days I feel like I'd do anything to make her smile. Thank you, Jello. Now go, solve your case, so I will not have to miss you for too long. I love you, Chica. Call me if you need any help that I can give. Thank you, Lucy Escobar. Appreciate that. There she is, my childhood best friend. She's spoiled and kind of a brat, but she's always on my side, cheering me on. Thank you, Lucy. I'll schedule a date the moment I find Grace. I'd rather stay and have lunch, but there's a ton more to do. Where to next? Police station or hospital? Let's go to the police station. Go talk to our detective friend. I've known Detective John Harris all my life. He was friends with my father before Papa went missing. Your father went missing? I didn't know that. Now that I think of it, I don't know why or how they became friends to begin with. Even so, going to a police station makes me nervous. Every time. Maybe it's how they grilled us when Papa disappeared, like we were the criminals. A ton of them are on the payroll of various cartels and criminal organizations too. At least I know Detective Harris is on the take. Can I lower the volume just a hair, please? It's very loud in my ears, and I don't know if that's just my headphones. So, a ton of them are on the payroll of various cartels and criminal organizations. At least I know Detective Harris is on the take. If by Detective Harris is on the take, do you mean that he's being paid by the cartels? So he's a dirty cop? Is that what you're saying? The devil you know, huh? Still, he was a good friend of my father before he disappeared, and he came over frequently to let Mama know about the progress of the case. He also let us know when the case was marked as cold. The guy might be a dirty cop, yeah, there you go. But at least he was kind to my family. Excuse me? I'm looking for Detective Harris. Is he around? Shiloh, how nice to see you. How can I help you today? Oh, you've got that weird frown on your face. You're not here to see your old buddy John. There's something on your mind. That obvious, huh? Maybe you're still an okay detective after all. Got the badge and the gun and everything. They even make me wear a uniform every once in a while. I'm gonna get the voices mixed up. Like, I need to remember who is speaking. I'm not even doing voices, but I still feel confused about who is talking. Not that it fits anymore. I'll have to get a new dress uniform for the retirement ceremony. Just one more year, eh? Mama will be making you a cake for sure. It's this case I'm working on. Oh. Case now, huh? There might be some cop blood in you yet. Hey now, Sheriff. I'm trying to be serious here. Okay. Proceed, Deputy. Makes me smile in spite of myself. Maybe some people used to play cops and robbers as a kid, but Mickey and I played under the direction of a real cop. It probably explains why I ended up being a sleuth, even if I couldn't cut it as police. I'm looking for a girl, Grace Woon. Her family already reported her disappearance to the cops, and they said they couldn't do anything. But I think I've got some extra information that might help. She was definitely associated with a guy named Jed Powers down by the pier. He was dealing drugs to her and probably other high schoolers. He got his own dumb little gang of them by the south end of the boardwalk. Seen the name before, mostly as known associate. In and out of prison, was definitely a juvie at some point. Let me check the file. Yep, here we go. a recent note against him. The officer on duty was Sergeant Walters, who took the report of a concerned parent who said Jed Powers tricked her daughter. Unfortunately, trickery isn't exactly something the state can prosecute, and a little petty theft isn't even a great reason to bring someone in. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was dealing drugs, but I guess the parents in question never put it together. Rich suburban folks, you know. No clue what brats their perfect children are. Alright, so now we know more about Jed. Reputation for tricking rich, clueless kids out of their cash. Maybe I should play dumb around him. Well, we didn't have that information. We've already talked to him. Does that help, Cello? I think I'm beginning to see something. If I catch him red-handed, will you bring him in? Of course. You're my trusted deputy, after all. Now, will you do me a favor, Miss Martinez? Uh-oh, my last name. Am I in trouble? Of course. What do you need, Sheriff? You need to visit your mother. She says she's been calling and you haven't called her back. I know. You want to strike out on your own, and since your dad's been gone, she's been protective. More like overbearing, demanding, and needy. But she's still your mother, and it's important that you look after her. Fine. I'll have dinner there this week. I know she wants to look out for me, Sheriff, but she wants me to follow some kind of path that'd be normal for her. Normal in Cuba. The job, the husband, the kids. Eventually. To her, I'm already an old maid, with no value besides who I can get to take care of me. I just wish she'd believe that this thing I'm doing, that it's real. I want to find lost people, John. It's important. I know that. And I believe in what you do. But your daddy raised you American because he loved this place. Your mama's Cuban. She never wanted to be here. And it was that obligation stuff that made her follow your daddy to Miami. You're not going to make her understand it. The lifestyle, the job, how important it is to you, if you don't talk to her, Cello. Hey, don't look so blue. You know, you remind me so much of your father sometimes. I'm scared I'll forget about him, Uncle John. Now I'm worried about you, kid. You haven't called me Uncle John in ages. It just means a lot to me. I never got a chance to get to know my dad as an adult, you know? I'll never know what he was thinking when he... Hello. I know a few things about your dad, and one of them is that he'd never leave your family, not willingly. You stop that kind of thinking now, or else I'll tell your ma you miss her and that she should call you twice a day. Please don't. Sorry, Detective Harris. Thanks for your help. With the case and with everything else. Anytime, Deputy. Next time I call your ma, she better tell me all about your brand new flaws. Fine. I gotta head out, though. I'll catch up with you later. Alright, there's Detective Harris. Detective John Harris has watched over my family since my father disappeared. I trust him with my life. What a good guy. He keeps my head on straight. So, is there a trick? Is there a trick ending where John actually had something to do with my father's disappearance and he's just pretending to be a family friend? Where should I head to next? Well, the only place. The hospital. This is the 4th hospital I've been to in a couple of hours, and the farthest inland by far. Maybe Grace's disappearance has nothing to do with Jed after all. The only thing I've learned, receptionists are very nice, nurses are very busy, and no one has time to talk to you in a hospital. I guess I should be thankful. If Grace hasn't shown up in a hospital, it may mean that nothing horrible has happened to her, or that something horrible has happened to her in a place that's bad enough that no one can reach her. But I won't know for sure until I check this last hospital. Let's keep going, Cello. We'll find something eventually. Hi, excuse me, I'm looking for a... Oh boy, oh wow, that guy's arm is almost attached. I'm sorry for interrupting what's going on here. I wonder if there's someone I can call, maybe at a less busy time? Hello, Ethan. We've seen you from the opening intro. Hello, I couldn't help but notice you tripping over yourself a little bit there. I know this hospital pretty well. Are you here for someone in particular? I'm Ethan Brown. I'm an EMT here. Ethan, bless your handsome face and your kind heart. I've been to so many hospitals today and I still don't know what people are and aren't allowed to tell me. Everyone in a hospital pretends they know what they're doing, so a little cluelessness is actually refreshing. But there is a lot of privileged information for sure. Are you, a reporter or like an angry girlfriend? Do you have a name, and should I be worried about talking to you? Oh, no. I'm looking for a missing girl. She hasn't turned up in a couple days, and all I can tell you is she hasn't been admitted to any of the other hospitals I've checked so far. I'm helping out with an investigation. But maybe she was admitted without an ID or under a pseudonym, and no one's been able to tell me? To be honest, I'm not even sure how much you can help, Mr. Brown. I'm Consuelo, by the way. Jello for short. Martinez. Jello. I'd be happy to help you, but I really prefer that you call me Ethan. Can't give you specific information about people who've been admitted, including what they're being treated for, but let's see if anyone matches your girl's description in the ER admitting chart. I think that'd be a good start. She's 17 or 18, Korean American, speaks fluent English, about 5'4", I think. And you say she might have come in as a Jane Doe? We've got one here. She's been here for a few days, no name. I don't think she's Korean, though. I know you can't tell me what she's being treated for, but is there anything in her file that might help ID her? Well, wait a second. It looks like this one filed a police report. Says she was assaulted by some kids at the university. Left her under a bridge like this, unconscious. Oh. Yeah, those kids. We've already heard about the underpass. Ugh, I can't keep these files straight. Their police report is the victim's name, just not the hospital records. What was her name again? Grace Woon? Huh. I'm making an assumption based on the name, but I don't think we have your friend. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help to you, Jello. Ethan, wait. Why don't we keep chatting anyhow? What if she got checked into the urgent care center? I mean, I'm not gonna just hit on the man. Why don't I just ignore looking for my friend and hit on the EMT? What if she got checked into the urgent care? You know, that's a good point. She wouldn't be the first kid who's checked herself into the urgent care center. The hospital's really confusing, and I'm worried I'd slow you down. Do you mind checking for me? I'll stay right here. You're right. It's kind of a labyrinth. It's kind of labyrinthine in here. I'll check those records for you, and I'll come right back. Don't get in any trouble now, Miss Martinez. What a sweet, trusting man. I feel a little bad for sending him off, but at least he left the files here. Oh, now I can look through the files. Yes, here we go. This was the police file he was looking at. I wonder what he wasn't telling me. Looks like Grace wasn't the only girl who disappeared for a bit in the past 2 weeks. This girl, her name is Jackie Mills, affluent teenager from the burbs. She claims she wasn't doing drugs. The test came up positive for cocaine. She'd been beaten up pretty badly. Alright, there's that underpass. The hospital has been seen a pattern of teen mugging victims in and around Overtown. Not Grace, though. Well, we already knew about Overtown from... yeah, right there. Grace, I hope you're okay. Come on. I just need to find out where she was assaulted. Here, 2 blocks from the university, under 95. Yeah, that definitely sounds familiar. It's like the city couldn't clean up Overtown, so they just built a highway so rich people could go above it instead of through it. Whoops, here comes Mr. Cutie EMT again. The file goes right back here. Sorry, Jello. Found nothing. If you leave me your number, though, I can call you if she comes in. Thank you so much for your help. And if you ever see anything suspicious, please call anyway. I'm always on the lookout for new cases. There's Ethan Brown, the cute EMT at Miami General Hospital. He's eager to please. He's been really helpful so far. It was really nice to meet you, Ethan. So, what's next in your case, girl detective? What does all this look like if I put my notes together? We go to the underpass, of course. It's all leading to there. She couldn't get her fix from Jed because she didn't have the cash. So she went to the underpass and she got mugged. 2 long days. I hope all that legwork was worth it. I hope I can find Grace. Pounding the pavement. That's what the cop shows call it. Either way, I'm relieved to be back home. Oh, what's that? Hey, Cello, Mrs. Woon let me up. I'm Grace's friend, Marcy? Sure. What's going on? Here. I half expect her to hand me the object and walk away. She's a surly teen after all. But she waits, gesturing for me to examine the book she's brought. The cover is pink with silver flowers printed on it. A cheap metal lock protects the pages, but Marcy or someone has already broken it. It's a diary? I flipped through the first few pages and there it is, written in neon purple ink. Grace Woon's diary. How'd you get this, Marcy? Grace always said her greatest secrets were in here. I didn't think it would help. I mean, how big could her secrets be? Then again, I'm not the private dick or whatever you call yourselves. She came by my house randomly a while ago, totally strung out. Told her I didn't want it, but she insisted. Said it wasn't safe at home. I guess I didn't take her seriously. She's supposed to be my best friend forever, not some drugged out missing girl. I don't know what to tell you, Marcy. You're not your brother's keeper. What's that supposed to mean? Was I supposed to be? Would Grace be safe right now if I'd looked after her better? Well, you're helping me find her now, so that's what's important. You don't buy that for a moment, do you? My older brother is a mess. He's in and out of trouble all the time. He said some hurtful things, and I know Grace said some shit to you too. You've given me access to a part of her life. It was shitty to you and abandoned your friendship, but you still care enough to do this for her. Don't get your hopes up. I've read the diary, and I don't think it'll be much help. But it's all I can think of, you know? Just find her, will you? So I can stop worrying about her. Thanks again, Marcy. I know this wasn't easy. Whatever. Okay, let's see what we got here. How about an entry from last week? Another report card, straight A's like always. Mom was so proud. Trevor said he'd cook me a special dinner when he gets a day off from the bar. Huh? That's odd. Here's another one. Marcy's so perfect. That must be why we're such good friends. Wow, it's like she made up a totally different life for herself. Yeah, she wasn't a straight A student. She wasn't still going out with what's his face, Trevor. She wasn't friends with Marcy anymore. They say these are the best years of your life. Who's they? Well, anyway, I don't know if they're right, but it really feels that way. Every day I feel braver and stronger. I do things I'd never done before. I'm in love with every single day. Hope this never ever ends. She's just delusional? Her handwriting is bubbly and pretty, like she wanted everyone to know that her life is great. The rest of the diary is more the same, except here, where the writing begins to get shaky. She still pretends that like nothing's wrong though. Marcy's right. I won't be able to find Grace by following her personal fantasies. Okay, let's start with where she wasn't. According to Mrs. Woon, Grace didn't sleep in her bed 3 days ago. I don't know if she skipped school that morning, but she definitely met someone for lunch. Trevor, the boyfriend. That's right. She dropped by the bank side to ask the boyfriend for money. I guess the well ran dry after Marcy told her to buzz off. So she pressures Trevor for cash. Instead, he gives her the name of a shady drug dealer and leaves. It's weird. In her diary, she pretends they're all lovey-dovey. He'll cook her dinner, do anything for her. But Trevor doesn't give her any money, and she disappears soon after that. So where would she go after that? I mean, she went to Jed Powers. She's a good girl. She considers her options. Maybe, she thinks, maybe she should go home. That's not really an option, is it? They live downstairs from the Woons. They're good people with high expectations. I've heard them yelling at her through the floor. Your grade on this test was a B-. You'll go to a tutor. If they knew she was doing drugs, they'd fly off the handle. But she's heard of Jed Powers. Some of the kids at school buy from him, so he must be cool. Not really a stranger at all. So she goes to his turf on the Broadwalk. No, now you said boardwalk. Now you said boardwalk. Is it the boardwalk or the Broadwalk? Because it says it in a couple different places, different things. Like she knows him, but she's never met him in person, has she? Another wine-eyed poser? Despite what Jed Power says. I know Grace was on the boardwalk that day. You said boardwalk again. But what was she there for? She was there for drugs. Yeah, that's right. According to both Marcy and the boyfriend, Grace was doing harder drugs. Cocaine. I'll bet, to keep up with her studies. I've never cared enough about my classes to even study for them, let alone take stimulants. I guess after the uppers weren't enough, she just didn't want to feel anything at all. All those grade school anti-drug campaigns must not be working if a good kid like Grace gets pulled in. Her diary doesn't say much about her life, as it was, but it does paint a picture of what her life should have been. Straight A's, perfect boyfriend, that was the facade. And even after she started using, the pressure to be perfect was still on. So she goes to a stranger out of desperation and... Hey, wait, that's a good point. Why didn't Grace just go to one of her other friends? I mean, Fairview was nice, but I mean, I always knew they were where to score, and I wasn't even one of those kids. I wonder if anyone's by their phone. Maybe I should call. Oh, Tala. Tala knows everything. Tala, it's me, Cello Martinez. I think I said Cello again. Cello. Cello Martinez, are you free to talk? Yeah, the old timer. Please tell me you need help with a case. I'm glad you're excited. Honestly, I'm stumped, and I thought you might be able to help. I've connected Grace to the sketchy dealer you mentioned, but I can't for the life of me figure out why she went to him to begin with. Do you know why Grace would turn to Jed instead of one of the many other people who can get drugs at Fairview? That's a tough one. I don't know Grace that well, honestly. She always struck me as one of the nerds. I was surprised to see her hanging out with... well, with the Burnouts, and her boyfriend always had that cool rebel vibe. She was so out of their league. Or so I hear. Gosh, glad I'm not the subject of high school level gossip anymore. Appreciate your honesty, at least. You should. I'm Iranian. I haven't seen my dad in 9 years. Some crazy religious guy takes over, and now it's too dangerous for me to see my dad. Okay, the Iranian Revolution. Gotcha. Most of my classmates only ever think about which cheerleader likes what center forward. It's stupid, but kind of nice to be around people who think their social clique is more important. It's the most important thing in the world. But life isn't really that simple, is it? I haven't seen my dad in a while either, since I was a kid, really. I know. It's a part of why I liked your band. Another immigrant girl with no dad who could yell at the world. Not just white kid Miami high school, but the whole huge world. It was awesome. You were awesome. Thank you. It means a lot to me. And me and Lucy always hoped we'd have fans like you, even when no one came to our shows. Okay, Lucy was in the band, I gotcha. Okay, so why didn't Grace go to another clique? Nerd or not, she must have known another drug dealer at school. Why trust a stranger over an acquaintance? You know, now that you mention it, there were rumors that some kids would pick on her sometimes. I love Fairview, but some people, even some of my friends, can be shitty. Poor girl with good grades and bad clothes, easy target. Maybe Grace hated this school more than anyone. Marcy said she'd always seemed better than this place. Maybe she thought she really was. Maybe she wanted to prove she was cooler than all the people who made fun of her. Someone like that would be pretty vulnerable, I think. That's a good insight. She wanted to act like a grown-up, even though she was scared and desperate. You know, shithead kids at school always say that Jed could spot a mark a mile away. He likes preying on tourists, too. You're right. Thanks for your help, Tala. It's been huge. Let's get lunch sometime. You can tell me about your family. It sounds really interesting. Aha, yes, I'll do that. See you when I see you. Interesting. I think I can work with that info. So Grace meets Jed for the first time on his home turf. She never makes it home. Never makes it to a hospital. She's vulnerable and scared and all alone. Someone takes advantage of that. Where? Where do I go to look for her? The underpass? Under the highway? Okay, I'll start my search there. This place sucks. It's dark, it smells like garbage, and I hate it with every ounce of my being. Seriously, what are the odds I can find anything in this mess? Late, and everything is weirdly quiet. Even my shoes sound too loud on the asphalt. But when I hold still... What's that? A moan? Grace? Grace Woon? Who are you? Has she been beat up and laying there for 3 days? I'm not seeing Barry at all. Oh my god. Grace's face is messed up like she's been kicked a bunch. She's definitely got some fractures and she's definitely stoned. Grace, your parents asked me to find you. My name is Cello Martinez. I live downstairs from you. Do you know me? No, I don't remember. Girl, you were so messed up. We need to get you to hospital now. You're wrong. Everything. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm a good student, and I don't get into messed up stuff. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. I'm gonna find a payphone, call 911 and your folks. No! No, please. Please don't tell my mother any of this. Just drop me off at the emergency room. I'll figure something out. I'm a smart girl. Grace, you're broken. I don't honestly know what to do with you, but you really, really do need medical attention. Grace? Passed out. It's hard to see in the streetlights, but there's blood crusted in her hair. The topography of her face is shifted, strange, and colored by dark bruises. Okay, hospital first. When she's stable, we'll decide what to do. Achievement unlocked, Edge of 17. Grace was pretty messed up. The doctors insisted she'll be fine, but she's been in surgery for a couple hours now and no word. She woke up only long enough to beg that I not call her parents again. It was at her sweet 16. She kissed her baby cousin on the cheek. Mrs. Woon put the picture up behind the counter of the tiny market. Now I'm waiting here by myself to see if the bones in her face can be set to look anything like that photo again. And I'm not supposed to tell her mom. Maybe Grace is right though. When my mama found out Mickey was selling pot, she threw him right out of the house for months. Mama Martinez was not as nearly as strict as Mrs. Woon. Besides, Grace only started on the drugs because she wanted to do well in school. Who could blame her for trying too hard? What should I do? Oh, we're telling them, Mother. What would be the right thing to do? Look, we call Mrs. Woon. The dang woman has been missing her daughter for 3 days. I know she's strict and maybe still react poorly, but her daughter is in surgery. So I think she deserves to know. And her daughter's only 17? So the mother definitely deserves to know because the daughter's a minor? I'm calling Miss Woon. I think there was a payphone by the front door. Mrs. Woon should be here soon. The meds they have her on must be pretty strong. She looks so peaceful even though she's just out of surgery. She could have lost an eye. I've never actually been in a room like this. The strange beeps and hisses make me uncomfortable. Like Grace's body is expanded to the room and all these machines are breathing for her, pumping her heart, keeping her alive. This is her room. She's just out of surgery, so she may not respond. Thank you. Oh my god, is this my daughter? Grace? Mrs. Woon, I'm glad you're here. Please don't freak out. The doctor said Grace will be mostly fine. One of her cheekbones was fractured, so one day she may need... She hushes me with a gesture and wraps her hand around Grace's. There's nothing for me to say here, but something keeps me transfixed. Grace is so still in the bed, and her mother is like a statue watching over her. Suddenly, Mrs. Woon slumps down as if whatever energy keeps her upright is left. Would you like me to leave? No, Consuelo, please stay and tell me how this happened. How did you find her? I give her the broad strokes. When Grace wakes up, she can tell her about the drugs, the truancy. Grace was in a bad part of town and got beaten up. I tracked her there through friends and acquaintances. When she wakes up, Grace can give her mom whatever explanation seems right. I try to hang in there, but the sun is coming up and even Mrs. Woon can tell I'm dead on my feet. Thank you for staying. Thank you for not giving up on my daughter. It was right to put my faith in you and your skills, Cello. That means a lot to me, Mrs. Woon. Do you mind if I catch up with you later? I've been up all night now. Let me call you a cab. The sun was going down by the time I woke up, which of course means I was late for dinner. Mama was not happy. She spent all the dinner saying variations of, if you can't be on time for dinner with your mother, why even have this bad job? And Mickey kept shooting me sympathetic looks across the table, but I think he's just happy to be the good kid for once. After we clear the dishes, Mama turns on the game shows and Mickey drives me home. You can't be too mad. Mom made flan. She knows it's your favorite. Come on, Cello. You know she doesn't mean most of that stuff. She just gets in a mood and she knows you're always disappointing. No matter what I do and how I do it. I was gonna say, she knows you're always Papa's little girl. She wanted a daughter in her image, but you're always going to be our father's. But Papa's been gone for almost a decade now, Cello. You can't ignore Mama and mourn the dead for the rest of your... Papa's not dead. Thanks for the ride, Mickey. Cello, don't be this way. You know we're both proud of you, me and Mama. But? Nothing, little sister. Mickey? I don't always remember his face. I don't remember how his mustache felt. I don't even remember how tall he was, really. But when I close my eyes, I can hear his voice inside me saying, Cello, you have to help the helpless. It really meant something to me, Mickey. See? You're his daughter, alright. Thanks, hermano. Case closed. New case, Melanie Schrader. I mean, this is going to be the end of the episode, so we're really not going to start the Melanie Schrader case. Not many people wake up early for paperwork, but it's important to document everything I've done, successful or not. So, can we check the notebook? So those are my contacts. We don't have any clues. There's no options. I don't even know where I went there. Let's just go back. Progress will be saved. Okay. So we solved the first case. I mean, it seemed impossible to lose that one. I guess if we went to the wrong place, we could have lost it, but you didn't have a time limit on like going to all the places. We were able to go to all the places and not leave anything out. So good little tutorial there that we solved successfully. Now we got this Melanie Schrader or whatever her name was. But that'll have to be for another episode. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you again next time.